I am Brittany Strom, and this is Hanging with Home Experts. Today, I am with Staphanie from Dreamy Home Designs. She is a home stager.
Yes.
So, Staphanie, tell me a little bit about what inspired you to open this company.
My mom actually, growing up, she kept our home really nice. And she would change it out throughout the seasons. And as I got older, got my own home, my own family, I was like, I think I like this. I think I can do this design thing. So
Okay.
that's how I jumped into home staging.
And how long have you been in home staging?
4 years.
4 years.
Yes,
Okay.
officially
Okay.
4 years.
Awesome. All right. So, what's your favorite part?
The creativeness. I can be creative. There's really no limits or boundaries for the most part. And I don't have to ask you what you like.
You just take a blank canvas and make it your own?
Yeah, so I do a little background research to find particular neighborhoods, what buyers are looking for, things that are popular,
Okay.
styles, things like that, and try to make sure that the buyer that home is targeting is going to fall in love with it.
All right. So, what's your take on virtual staging?
Virtual staging is kind of tricky.
Okay.
So it's come a long ways from, like I said, the floating chairs and things looking like, okay, that doesn't even look realistic. It's not my preference. However, I completely understand why it could be used for home and things like that. And I prefer to be more realistic so that when buyers are drawn by the MLS photos, when they come into the property, they're like even more in love to see it in person staged.
Okay. I definitely do appreciate that view. I do like that. Um, okay, so we're here in one of my listings, and I'm just kind of curious. It's not staged right now, obviously. So I'm just kind of curious as to how you might stage this room in front of us.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Okay, so this, of course, is the living room. I like to have focal points in each room. Of course, the fireplace is beautiful, but you also have this beautiful patio. So I absolutely would not want to block that view. So we could put a nice little sofa over here, two accent chairs, definitely a rug to warm up the space.
Okay.
Because even though we have the fireplace, it can still feel a little cold with just hardwood floors. So
Sure.
a nice area rug, um, decor pieces throughout the fireplace, things like that. But
I think this area over here, what would you say about maybe like a little workstation, or do we keep this all just casual out here? What do you think?
I would keep it casual.
Okay.
Because the space isn't super big and you
Mm-hmm.
don't want it to feel very clustered or closed in.
Okay.
And so I would still keep it casual, but there's multiple things we can do with it to meet the buyer's needs.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Okay.
Now we're going to just turn over here. And how about this dining space? Obviously, we know what goes in a dining space.
Yes,
But
yes. No, this area is amazing because it's actually a lot bigger than you would expect in a townhome this size. A nice 4 to 6 table seater could fit easily and still have plenty of space. Even a buffet, a nice buffet
okay.
with whatever your style is, a bright artwork or even something minimalized if you just don't want a whole bunch of color. But I think some color on that wall would be amazing, especially with the style of home this is.
Yeah, pop of color.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Again, still leaving access to the patio doors because, I mean, yeah, I can only imagine what that looks like in the winter. I would be out there all the time. That's such a beautiful space. So.
Okay, so then we're just going to do one more room. We're going to move into the master bedroom.
Okay.
All right, so now we are in the master. Go ahead, give it a whirl.
Okay, first of all, this is why I love what I do because when you're called to actually stage a home, sometimes you don't know what you're walking into, and they can be flips or renovations, and this owner spared no expense. And we like to highlight that. Like, we want to make sure that all of their features, the lighting that's going from the wall to the ceiling, we want to make sure all of that stands out with our staging. So, of course, king size bed with a nice area rug to warm up the space can fit over here. With this being a fireplace and the TV, I would make this a sitting area. So, kind of like what you were saying in the living room, if we wanted to, we can also put a desk in here if that was the buyer's preference, because there's plenty of space to do that.
Okay.
This space is amazing. It is gorgeous. But again, we want to make sure we highlight all of those features. So again, we'll do the master, a king size bed in here, but I would not place a dresser in front of this window. It's a beautiful view to the patio, and I don't want to block that by any means necessary. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous.
So would you just leave the TV here? Would we put another over here? What would you recommend?
It would be the buyer's preference.
Yeah.
It would definitely be a buyer's preference. From, like I said, we want to make sure that we highlight the features that the owner has done, and so I would keep it here.
Okay.
But again, this could easily be a nice sitting area or even an office.
Okay.
So.
One more question about the space, and kind of this space is throughout, but window coverings. What would be your go-to? Like, you know, blinds or curtains or both? Or
so as a stager, we don't do any window coverings.
Oh, okay.
We don't do that only because for one, staging is typically kind of an in and out thing. And if we're having to measure different windows, every house has different sizes. That's a little bit more tedious. That's more on the interior design side. But as a homeowner, once I got in here, I think I would do blinds. I think I would do blinds. The style of the home is more of a modern, more of a sleek look. And so blinds or curtains can kind of be more traditional, and I mean, they have some up-to-date ones for sure, but I think I would go with blinds if this was my home.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming through this home with me and telling me a little bit about your business. For anyone watching, where can we find your business?
Yes, I appreciate you for having me. Sure. Yes, we're on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find us there at Dreamy Home Designs. Our website is also just dreamyhomedesigns.com. And yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.